What would happen if humanity became a Type 5 civilization? Ever since we first appeared on Earth, humanity has been problem-solving, inventing, and developing its technology. We've managed to leverage our understanding of science to build relatively advanced civilizations and rise above other species. We've come from living in caves to being able to land on the moon. We've had to reimagine our environment and remodel it to suit our interests. More importantly, we've vowed to relentlessly pursue our undying quest for knowledge through every means possible. But is there a final destination for us? Could we reach a point where we have discovered everything and there's nothing more to discover? Futurists think so. For our species to survive the new challenges we face, our civilizations need to progress to more advanced levels. In 1964, a Russian astrophysicist, Nikolai Kardeshev, came up with a scale to categorize the advancement of civilizations. The Kardeshev scale is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy they can use. The initial scale had 3 types of civilizations. Type 1 civilization can use and store all energy available on its planet. This is called a planetary civilization. Type 2 civilization can use and store all energy at the scale of its planetary system. This is also called a stellar civilization. Type 3 civilization can control energy at the scale of its entire host galaxy. This is also called a galactical civilization. At the time of invention, this scale did not go beyond Type 3, because Kardashev believed no species would be able to achieve a Type 4 civilization. However, this scale was extended to include new types. Type 4 civilization can harness energy at the scale of its universe. Type 5 civilization can harness the energy within its universe and other universes. Type 4 and V civilizations are commonly referred to as beyond Kardashev civilizations. The answer might disappoint you. We are not in the Kardashev scale yet. You see, according to the scale, a Type 1 civilization can harness all energy from its neighboring star, gather and store it. We would have to boost our current energy production by over 100,000 times to reach a Type 1 civilization. Also, in a Type 1 civilization, we'd be able to control all forces of nature, including weather, volcanoes, and earthquakes. A lowly Type 0 civilization was added to the original scale to represent where we are. Futurists estimate that we might transition into a Type 1 civilization in the next 100–200 years. It is clear that we are a very, very long way from achieving a Type 5 civilization. But it's not impossible. Assuming that we don't use nuclear weapons to annihilate ourselves or die off in some other way, it's plausible to think that we'll continue advancing with each generation. Besides, everything starts with an idea. We need to conceptualize what this civilization would look like to create. The only way to predict the future is to create it. When we get there, human beings will be gods, having the capacity to manipulate their universe as they please. I love watching animated sci-fi series. I particularly love Rick and Morty. Rick is a super genius scientist who has invented a portal gun that he uses to travel across different galaxies and different universes.
Hispanic on half.
He also understands science to the level in which he can cure any disease, control everything everywhere, and transcend different dimensions. This is a perfect image of a Type 5 civilization. Nothing puzzles my mind than the theory of wormholes. Wormholes are theoretical bridges through space-time which create shortcuts that can reduce travel time and distance. In a Type 5 civilization, wormholes will be a reality. We'd be able to travel everywhere, not only within our universe, but other universes too in a short time. A journey through space that takes a couple of years would take a few minutes. The energy output for such a civilization is unfathomable. A civilization this advanced could tap into the mysterious dark matter to produce energy. In a Type 5 civilization, this is multiplied by the number of universes whose energy we'd be able to harness. That's an overwhelming, almost unquantifiable amount of energy. This civilization would have reached the pinnacle of its knowledge of the universe. Everything that can exist will exist. We'd transcend the boundaries of human knowledge. We'd have perfected mathematics, physics, biology, medicine, astronomy, and any field of science. This knowledge would enable us to redefine our existence within this and other universes. We'd no longer die of diseases. Nanotechnology would be able to cure everything.
Holy shit.
We'd reverse aging, 3D print new organs for ourselves, and repair any damage to our bodies. Autonomous transportation would have taken over. They'd be so advanced, eliminating accidents. We might not need any form of transportation. We'd be able to teleport. Esteemed fields such as research sciences and theoretical physics will no longer exist, since there would be nothing left to discover. The laws of nature would be the basic tools we manipulate every day to fulfill our blissful existence. We'd also have discovered and documented every life form that exists in any universe, in the past, present, and perhaps the future. Hold on to your alien conspiracy theories a bit longer. Thanks to our perfect understanding of science and technology, we'd be able to invulnerable to destruction by forces of nature. Climate change would not be an issue. We'd be able to modify the climate as we please. We'd control or eliminate storms, thunderstorms, and volcanoes. We'd also manage to avert destruction by asteroids. If an asteroid is heading towards our planet, we could literally move the planet out of harm's way. With Elon Musk's relentless drive to upload our brains to the cloud in the coming years, a Type 5 civilization might wind up being a non-physical phenomenon. According to some projections, we'd have uncovered and built a non-physical dimension where our consciousness can reside. We'd no longer need to rely on our bodies, which have so many physical restrictions. Existing in the cloud will mean that we've conquered the limitations of aging, disease, and death. We'd not need to have drugs, prosthetics, or medical doctors. Traveling would be easy. We'd be able to download our identities into a robot body anywhere within the universe, use it for some time, and upload our identity back to the cloud. Forget Netflix. Enter intergalactic cable. We'd be able to watch programs from all over the universe. I don't know what would excite you more: the Olympics from Kepler B or the documentaries from a dimension where time moves backward. The fact that we have an endless variety of choices would be something to live for. The number of resources available to us in a Type 5 civilization would be enormous. There'd be no scarcity to fuel the scramble for resources. There'd be more than we can utilize or exhaust. Every person would be able to inhabit their own planet if need be. Intergalactic police would be so advanced that they can predict a crime before you commit it. After all, your brain is in the cloud. Somehow, we'd have managed to advance how much we understand each other and use it to quell any conflicts. Besides, it would be impossible to die in case of war. Science would have a solution to everything. We may not achieve a utopian existence, but things will certainly be way better. The Kardeshev scale is based on the level of energy a civilization can utilize. The unusual requirement to harness all energy from our sun to progress to Type 1 is difficult to achieve. We'd need to construct huge Dyson spheres to conceal and harness energy from the sun. The amount of metal required for this construction would mean we have to mine the Earth to its core, which is impractical. Instead of looking at it that way, we should consider more creative ways to harness and produce energy. Energy production has grown more efficient over time. We don't need more, we can multiply the existing potential. Of particular interest is finding a way to manipulate the second law of thermodynamics, which deals with the transition of energy from usable to unusable. Quantum physics might hold the key to preserving energy within a closed system. Maxwell's demon thought experiment presents this hypothesis, one that can ensure that entropy, or the state of disorderliness, decreases with energy consumption. Manipulating or breaking the second law of thermodynamics means we'd be able to exponentially increase energy efficiency, including attaining perpetual motion in machines. With an endless supply of energy at hand, it'd be easier to make the initial transition into more advanced civilizations. The reality of achieving this type of civilization is still far-fetched, but every day presents an opportunity to discover something new. A few centuries ago, things like airplanes and cell phones were unheard of. Fast forward to today. They are basic means of travel and communication we use every day. The same fate applies to the things that seem impossible right now. Eventually, they will become a reality. If we continue on a sustained upward trajectory, we will be able to make giant leaps towards the future. The next 100 years hold more promise in the advancement of science than never before. An advancement driving us towards prosperity, towards a new utopia. A utopia. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.